Thanks for tuning in. Today I want to share a follow-up video on my HERMES Aloha sandals. That's one of my more popular videos that I know a lot of people watch, and it's been about a year since I've had my pair, so I thought it would be a good time to do a follow-up. I recently took them out to wear for the season and I noticed something that was a bit disappointing, so I wanted to make sure I shared that with you all as well. If you're tuning in for the first time, hi, I'm Katie. I like to do these luxury fashion videos here on YouTube. I share hauls and reviews, but at the end of the day, I share my journey so we can all mindfully curate our own collections. So if you like what you're seeing, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave a comment down below with your favorite part or your most shocking part. I definitely want to hear more from you, and all of your support really means a lot to me. One other housekeeping item is my hair. I definitely changed my hair color, and I also had already filmed this video and the audio did not record for some reason. You have no idea how devastated I was when I saw that, because the lighting was so much better in my first video. My hair looked better because it was like right after I got my hair color done, and if you get your hair colored, you know that like there's like a little grace period right after you get your hair colored where it's going to be the most vibrant, and then it just starts fading from there no matter what you do. And I'm so sad. I'm so sad that I could not have captured more of this when my hair was at its prime, but such is life. I'm doing the best I can with what I have. So even if the lighting's not perfect, I hope you guys can understand. If you feel like I'm not talking as much, it's probably because I feel like I already said all of this, and so I'm trying not to repeat myself, even though I will be repeating myself because I have to refilm the whole video. Anyway, let me grab my pair of Alohas. Like I said, I've had mine for about a year now, and because I purchased them last summer. I wore them all of last summer. I put them away for the season because that's normally how I store my sandals. A lot of times they will kind of get put away for the season, and then I'll pull them out when it's warm again. So recently I pulled them out to wear, and I actually filmed myself like pulling them out of my closet and out of the box, because I'm filming a whole separate video on like outfits, on like summer styling tips and stuff like that. So I was filming that sequence, and that's when I noticed that they are like really curved. They're, I wouldn't say bent, but they definitely have more curvature to them, to the footbed, than they did before. This is me like not even holding on the other side, but you see how like much more it's curved, and it's not really flat like it used to be. And I'm pretty sure they did not look like this before I put them away for the season, because if they looked like this, I would have recognized that they looked like that, and I might have tried to do something earlier, you know what I mean? I do think it happened mostly because of the material. This is like a rubber / TPU, so I think it's just the nature of that material itself versus some terrible like improper storage. Because all of my other sandals, all of my other HERMES shoes are pretty much stored in the same way. I store them in their dust bag and in the box when I put them away for the season, because I'm putting them away for the whole season. My Orans look fine, my loafers look fine, a bunch of other shoes that I store that way all look fine as well. So I think it's really just attributed to the material itself. I was definitely surprised when I tried them on. Well, when I wore them out, I still wore them for the outfit that I was thinking about. I wore them out, and they weren't particularly uncomfortable because of this curvature, because like it's not a really strong footbed to begin with, right? So like when you put your foot in, your foot will flatten it out, and then it just kind of follows along with your foot shape. So when you step, it's not like you feel something different. It's not like you feel a gap in your foot when it's in the shoe. But honestly, it looks a little janky when you take your shoes off, and it's not my favorite part, you know? These are still like HERMES shoes, you know what I mean? I don't want to like take off my HERMES shoes and then they look like they're like a little seesaw on the ground. So yeah, they definitely don't look as cute when I take them off anymore because of how curved they are. But like I said, comfort-wise, they felt pretty similar. If anything, it felt like this front lip might be touching my toes a little bit more than before. That might be because it is a little curved, but it wasn't to the point where it was like heavily rubbing my toes that they blistered or anything either. So it could just be my feet that are, you know, still trying to get used to wearing sandals now. So that's just something to note. And like, honestly, it's a little disappointing for me. It is. Who wants their Hermes shoes to look janky when you take them off? And who really wants this look, you know? That's one thing I wanted to mention. The other is sort of general wear and tear. Like in terms of wear on like the bottom of the shoe, like the rubber is pretty good. It's not like I have like weird scuffs. It's not like there are parts of the shoe that are like coming apart. So from that standpoint, the construction of the shoe itself is pretty superb, and I would not expect any less than that from a shoe from Hermes, even if it's a rubber shoe. The one thing about wear and tear I did want to mention though is like how easily these get dirty. Now, they are rubber shoes, so it does feel like these are good shoes to get dirty, so I get that part. The day I wore these, I actually got caught in some torrential downpour, so I was really glad that I was wearing these because they are rubber, and even if there's like a whole bunch of water that gets on them, there's really no damage done to the shoe. And that's true, there was no damage done to the shoe itself, except that like a lot of dirt sort of stuck onto the rubber and dried onto it, and then they also got stuck in the kind of, what's this called, like the embossed logo on the footbed. So the Hermes Paris is kind of stamped in there, so it's a little bit depressed. So you can imagine like all the dirt just like got in there. It got to the point where it almost looked like it was supposed to be a lighter color. And I actually took a toothpick and I had to like try to pick out most of the dirt in there because I just didn't like how that looked. I preferred the full black look of it. And so I just wanted to mention that those little depressions seem to be little wells for dirt or potentially sand and things like that to collect in. It might not show so much on a lighter color or a different color, but the only colors that I've seen is black, red, and like a bright cobalt blue. So I still feel like you'd be able to see them on those colors because they're not quite like it's not like they're like a beige or like a light color, you know what I mean? So that's just something I want to mention as well in case that's something that would really bother you. In terms of wear on like this main, I don't even know what this is called, flap of the shoe, it's pretty decent. I mean, there are definitely more scuffs on it than when I first got them, but if you remember from my unboxing video, I already noticed that there were some like general scuffs on it, and I think again that was because of the material being this kind of rubber material. So I guess it's a bit prone to scratching or just like scuff marks in general. That particular part doesn't bother me as much, but I did want to share that with you guys in case it bothers you. The overall construction in terms of like everything kind of sticking together is looking good. Everything is pretty much stuck together and nothing is necessarily falling apart. It's more in like the dirt dust area where I feel like it's losing some points for me. And then of course this whole like curvature situation where I'm like, oh, that's a bit of a letdown. Let's be real. Last summer, after I got these, I did do a little comparison video between the Alohas and the Orans. And in that video, I said of the two, if you really had to pick one, I would pick the Orans. I think the Orans are a better shoe. I know they cost more and than the Alohas do. So but even so, I still feel like the Orans are a much better made shoe, and they're much more of like a real shoe. I do think there are valid use cases for the Alohas. So If you're looking for a shoe that you know you want it to get wet, you know you want it to get like dirty, you want it to be something that you just like throw around, take to the beach, take to the pool, maybe go in the beach, go in the pool with, and you don't care, but like the whole purpose is for it to get wet and dirty. I think this Aloha is a much better shoe than the Oran for that. I do take my Orans to the beach, but of course I don't take them in the water. So that's why I think this could be a better shoe for you to go in the water in, or just like really get wet. The other thing that I think the Aloha can be good for, or better for you, is if you're really looking for a low-key shoe. So the Orans are still pretty branded, if you will. It's still pretty iconic and really associated with Hermes. This Shandong kind of motif might be less obvious. So if you're looking for something that is less obvious, then I do think the Alohas are better. They are at a lower price point than the Orans, but I still think the Orans are a better shoe overall. So I would much rather save up to get another pair of Orans than I would run out to get the Alohas. Like, I have mine, so I will continue to wear mine. I will make sure I like get a lot of use out of them, especially by the beach or by the pool and stuff like that. But yeah, it does make me wonder. I mean, I have other rubber slides too. Like, I have Gucci slides that are rubber slides, and they haven't really curled up like this. They've pretty much maintained their shape. It does make me fear though, if they would dry out and curl up even more if I left them out in the sun. Like, let's say I took them to the beach and I just like left them out there, like would they just like shrivel up because the sun is beaming on them? I don't know. But I have mine, so I will continue to wear mine, and I can continue to report back on how well they last over time. I was definitely a little bit shocked when I pulled them out, and I was like, ooh, like why do they look like that? So I definitely wanted to film a follow-up sooner rather than later. It's the summertime, and I'm sure a lot of folks are still looking at and considering this shoe style. So I hope you found this follow-up video helpful. I'm really not trying to persuade you one way or another about the shoe itself. I just want to share more information, especially given more time has passed, based on my experience, based on what I see, so that you can make a better informed decision on whether you want to add the Alohas to your collection or not. So definitely let me know if you have any other questions. Feel free to leave them down below, or head on over to Instagram and I'd be happy to help however I can. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate all of your feedback and support. If you like this kind of content and you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I post new fashion-related videos every Sunday and Wednesday. My next video is actually going to be where I announce the winner for the giveaway, so definitely stay tuned for that one. So until next time, bye!